Hey Math All-Stars, it's Dr. Conklin. We are on page 36. Página 36. I used to speak German. I'm trying to remember. How do you say 36? Can't remember. All right, if I remember, I'll get back to you guys. All right, so we learned last class that we have something called an angle-angle similarity, which basically tells us if we have two pairs corresponding of congruent angles, that's enough to say this triangles are similar. So let's look at this proof, and these are pretty short proofs, so I think you guys are going to like them. We're given that angle A is congruent to angle D. So let me mark that up. A and D are congruent. We want to prove that ABE, A to B to E, is similar, not congruent, to D to B to C. Okay? So, first thing, we already have an angle. Bada bing, bada boom. Love it. Now, do we have any other angles here? Well, you guys know we do. This is a bow tie, right? So I'm going to put a little 1 here, 2 here. Those angles, swoop, 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 are congruent. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. Because we know vertical angles give us congruent angles. Okay? So guess what, guys? This proof is done. Now, just a hint, if you remember, you want to actually take this prove statement, make sure you rewrite it so that it's correctly written, the order of the triangle parts. And we would say angle-angle similarity is our reason. Okay, so just a reminder, if we have similar triangles, these are now similar, we proved that. All the angles are congruent and the sides are proportional. We don't know the sides are congruent, we know that they're in ratio to each other. Okay? Let's look at a little bit of a harder one as well. So if I go right underneath, again, please make sure you're taking these notes down as you go because we're going to ask you to hand in a picture. All right, we are told we have two right angles, and we can see them already drawn in. I'm just going to go over them again. And I'm going to put a little, well, I don't even know if we need to put a little 1 and 2 there. I always do just because it makes it easier. Okay? We want to show that triangle ADC, so ADC, that's that guy, is similar to AEB. AEB. Okay, so if you look at those triangles, and the reason I'm using the highlight is it really does help us. First thing we notice is that in these triangles, they both have a right angle. That was our first given statement, so we know that those angles are 90 degrees, they're going to be congruent. So angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. All right angles are congruent. Right, that's just the definition. They all measure 90, so they all have to be the same measure. Now, this is the part that might be a little tricky. Remember back when we were doing proofs, we said, hey guys, almost every proof has one of two things. They either have vertical angles like we had back here, or they have something called the reflexive property. Now this reflexive property is a little bit different. If I look, oops, sorry guys, I'm going to zoom in here. If I look at angle A, do you guys see how angle A is both in the orange triangle and the green triangle? Angle A is part of both, and you can also see that in their similarity statement. Here's A, here's A. So actually, we haven't done too many problems like this, but since A is the same measure in both triangles, guess what that means? It means angle A is congruent to angle A using our old friend, the reflexive property. He's a good old friend. Okay, so now let's look at what we have. We have an angle and an angle. Now, normally, if we were trying to prove the triangle is congruent, that wouldn't be enough, really, to do much of anything. But if we're trying to prove similarity, remember that little symbol there means similarity, we are good to go. So, our last step, I'm going to rewrite this proof statement. Triangle ADC is similar to triangle AEB. And the reason for that, angle similarity. Now before I sign off, first reminder, please upload a picture of your notes. Second reminder, almost any time we have on the Regents a similarity proof like this, where it says prove two triangles similar, remember we do a little mark here, 99% of the time it is using angle similarity. So our strategy, and as we will do a couple more of these next week, or next lesson, will be to always look for two angles that we can find that are congruent. So hope you guys have a great day, and please email us or be in touch if we can help at all. Bye.